You're listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast, the #1 rated robot-related podcast in northeastern Ontario.
Hello, and welcome to episode 191 of the Rusted Robot Podcast for Sunday, March 11th, 2018. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Josh.
I'm Shane.
I'm Kitty.
And here we are. How's everybody doing?
Not bad. Another palindromic episode.
Yeah, 191.
Yeah,
Very exciting. Very exciting. We're all happy to be here. So, before we begin, we have some very important news to talk about. Kitty, you're having a bake sale.
Yes, Jump City is having a bake sale to raise profits for the Northern Ontario Expo Timmins Comic Con.
What is the Timmins Northern Ontario Comic Con? Tell me about what this is.
Okay, so once a year in Timmins, we have a gathering of nerds and all of our fandoms. And this year it is taking place inside the McIntyre Arena, April 21st and 22nd. You have to book your days off now because everybody's going to want to go. Jump City will be there.
Nice.
Many other people will be there, including, which Batman is it?
Brampton Batman.
The Brampton Batman and the Batmobile from the 1990 movie?
89.
1989 movie?
What are you?
I'm Batman. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
I was very close.
You were close. That was not bad.
I was impressed, yeah.
Let's see. Who else is going to be there? Oh! Chris Holden Reed.
Hey there, I'm Chris Holden Reed from Lost Girl, and you are listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast. Enjoy.
Ah, very cool.
He is in Vikings, and he was also Dyson in Lost Girl.
Ah.
He's often a werewolf. He was a werewolf in Underworld. One of the ones that didn't talk. But he was cool. And he's really nice in person, and we might get to play Dungeons and Dragons with him.
Well, wouldn't that be something?
It would be.
He was a really good guy last time he was here, for sure.
Who else is going to be there?
Ah, I can't remember the other gentleman's name. Perhaps the two gentlemen on the board here know what it is.
Are you referring to myself and Josh?
I am!
Oh, it's Paul Amos. He's the other guy.
Was he in Vikings or Lost Girl or both? Because I know he's in one of the two productions with
He's in
Chris
Vikings.
Holden Reed, which we need to watch still.
Yeah, you do.
It looks amazing, we just have no time.
My parents are really into it.
It looks really good, I can see why.
I've heard
Production
really-
value looks really high.
Really good things about it, yeah. I haven't checked it out myself.
I have also not seen it. So none of us have seen Vikings.
Aw, that's unfortunate though, because like Vikings are like one of my favorite things.
So we have a month and a half to catch up on Vikings before Paul Amos gets here if we want to talk to him about his role on the show.
Yeah, we don't want him being all like, yeah, remember when this happened? And everyone in the room be like, what? No.
Paul, what was your motivation in episode 14 when you looked at the guy with the face and you did
I
that
wasn't
thing?
in episode 14.
Oh, oops. Right. Yes, there's that.
I wasn't introduced until episode 17. You know that if you watch the show.
Right, okay, you got me there, Paul.
Uh-oh.
You got me there, Paul. All right.
I don't know if they enjoy answering questions like that. Like if I was a famous person, I don't know if I would keep track of specific episodes that I was in.
I don't think you would.
They,
you wouldn't.
according to the Star Trek people, they just kind of blend together because it's week in, week out. They produce an episode a week.
And it's the same thing as doing a podcast. Somebody will come up to me and say, hey, you remember an episode, whatever, we were talking about that thing? And I'm like, no, not a clue. I don't even remember what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I think I just want to know things about them because I already know that they're like fun, good people. Like usually I try to avoid knowing things about famous people. But these ones are nice, because, like, I've already met one of them in person.
Like, Chris Holden Reed turned out to be a really nice guy.
He
Yeah.
did. Yes, he was.
Yeah.
So, like, it was fun to learn that he loves Dungeons and Dragons. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. Is that why you wanted to be a werewolf? And he's like, no, I want to be a mage. Alas, I am a werewolf.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So tell me more about this bake sale, and when is it, and where is it?
It's taking place mostly on Fridays and Saturdays at Jump City in the basement of the 101 Mall, which is at 38 Pine Street North in Timmins, Ontario.
Unit 106.
So what is Jump City exactly for people who may not have ever heard the podcast before?
It is a comic book, board game, collectible, statue, all-round nerd stuff fandom store.
So it's a nerd mecca or a geek emporium.
Yeah. It's like, it's the melting pot for all geeky people in Timmins.
And how do you know about this place?
I am one of the two owners.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, so it's all about you.
It is.
Ah.
Hasn't it always been, though?
Well, yes. It has been. All right. Okay. So, Northern Ontario Expo fundraiser at Jump City. on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
Bake sale.
Oh, so many of the things are really good. Julie made a lot of the things herself, and they're
okay.
really, really good. I got to eat the things that we had no more packaging left for.
Ooh. So this is every weekend now until the expo.
Actually, you could buy it during the week, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool. All right. So I'll have to get myself down to Jump City and buy some things.
Yes.
All right. So we're having a nerd gathering April 21st and 2nd. A nerd gathering is called a Comic-Con.
Yes.
All right. Good to know. Good enough. Good to know. All right. What else should we talk about? There's all kinds of things, all kinds of stuff. Should we talk about the sad news? Should we talk about happy news?
Yes, we'll make you happy and we'll talk about the death.
Okay. So, last Saturday, as we were recording our episode 190, news broke that famous actor David Ogden Stiers had passed away.
That's unfortunate.
Do you know who that is?
No, we don't.
You don't know who that is. All right. Well, let me.
You ever watched MASH?
Yeah.
We
yes,
don't know
I
the
watched
names
MASH.
of all
I don't
the-
know the names.
Okay. Well, I'm just going
I
to
know
read you.
Alan Alda, that's it.
I will read you the first paragraph of the article from StarTrek.com. StarTrek.com is saddened to report the passing of actor David Ogden Stiers, who succumbed to bladder cancer on Saturday at the age of 75. According to his agent, he died peacefully at home in Oregon. The Emmy-nominated Stiers was best known for his role as Major Winchester on MASH, provided voices for such films as Beauty and the Beast and Lilo and Stitch, co-starred on the TV iteration of The Dead Zone, and made his mark in the Star Trek universe with his role as Dr. Timison in the Star Trek The Next Generation episode Half a Life. And that's how you know him from. You remember Dr. Timison?
Actually, no.
You don't remember that episode? The one where when people turn 60, they have to
Okay.
end their life?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I remember him now.
Yeah. So he died last Saturday, sometime around the recording of the previous episode.
That's sad.
So that was sad. But we do have some cool casting news that we can transition to.
Awesome.
Okay, so you know Kristen Wiig.
Yes.
She has officially been cast as Cheetah, the villain in the upcoming Wonder Woman sequel. Director Patty Jenkins took to Twitter to confirm the casting. So excited to confirm the most thrilling news, Jenkins wrote. Yes, it's true. So incredibly lucky to welcome the sensationally talented Kristen Wiig to our Wonder Woman family. Can't wait to finally work with one of my favorites.
Has she done any action roles previously?
I don't think so. Everything I can think of is comedy.
I know she was in Paul as the one-eyed or blind.
It's comedy.
Yeah, but there was some action scenes in there.
No.
Wasn't there running?
Okay, running
is not an action scene.
doesn't translate into being in the Wonder Woman movie. No.
All right. Well, Wonder Woman 2 is slated to begin production this May in the United Kingdom. Patty Jenkins will direct the sequel with... And last week during the Oscars, they said her name was Gal Gadot. Or Gadot. Gal Gadot.
Instead of Gal Gadot?
I still like Gal Gadot, and that's what I'm going to continue to call her. But she's returning to the role, of course, and plot details for the film have not yet been revealed, nor any additional cast members.
I think if she didn't come back, DC would lose their minds, considering she's their only profitable character at this point.
Wonder Woman's
in the
so good.
movies.
Well, that's what I meant.
Because, like, Flash is still running strong, Supergirl's still running
Oh yeah,
strong.
their shows are amazing.
Yeah, well, I'm, like, in the DCU.
I have not been watching the DC TV shows lately.
Oh, you're missing out. It's really good.
I've been watching Black Lightning on Netflix.
Black Lightning is also really good.
Yeah, it is really good. I'm all caught up. Watched all 6 episodes. I did finally watch the episode where we found out that he was an albino, and it all made sense. So I'm glad we got that all cleared up.
Didn't she mention it though in like the episode before?
Episode 4. But when we recorded the episode where I talked about it and I didn't realize that he was an albino...
But in the episode before
3,
that,
I
doesn't
think.
the coroner lady, while she's like cutting up a person, she's like talking about how people used to like...
That was episode 4.
Ah.
Yeah, and when we recorded the other episode, I'd only seen up to 3.
Ah.
So that's why I was confused. Anyway, you have some casting news, Shane.
I do. Vin Diesel has been confirmed. He's been in talks for a long time to play Bloodshot. It's been confirmed now.
Who is Bloodshot?
Bloodshot is from Valiant Comics. He's kind of like a super soldier working for the government that gets injected with nanites, and he just gets a ridiculous amount of powers and is sent off to do random espionage type stuff.
Oh, so it's like a spy movie?
Kind of. Think if they took Captain America, Wolverine, and Deadpool, made them one character, and then he gets, like, betrayed by the government and stuff, but he's still working for different groups. I don't know.
What kind of powers does he have? Does it say when the film gets start filming or anything like that?
It does not. It does state all of his powers. I don't know if he's going to have all of them in the movie, because it's a bit ridiculous.
Enlighten us.
He has the ability to shoot nuclear energy, Cyberkinesis. I'm not 100% sure what that is, to be honest.
Ability to control cybernetics from a distance. Or
machinery.
Computers at a distance, most likely.
Makes sense to me.
That would be pretty awesome. He can shapeshift, I'm guessing due to the nanites. And then the regular kind of master hand stuff. Healing factor, of course. Superhuman strength, speed, endurance, reflexes, agility, stamina, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Any details on the plot of the movie or any other cast members?
Nothing
We're
so
way
far.
early.
Do you know if he's like mostly like is he like a hard hero? Like
I'm fairly sure he's a hard anti-hero.
It's Valiant. Valiant is a very edgy 90s stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even just based on his design, like he's 100% like a muted gray color, like his skin, his outfit, and everything like that. And he's got a giant red dot on his chest, and his eyes are red.
Oh.
That's cool.
He doesn't look like a super happy, fun guy.
No.
So
Although like Daredevil doesn't look super happy fun either.
he's not.
He's kind of like he's really against like killing.
He's a good guy. That doesn't make him a happy, fun time guy.
No, neither is Batman.
Super happy fun
But
time.
Batman's also clearly like a hero, so.
Yeah.
No, Batman is clearly a guy that's going to go beat up people and break
Yeah.
their backs.
Well,
They're alive, so it doesn't count as me killing them.
That's
yeah,
right.
Just cripple them for life.
well,
It's totally cool.
You know
doesn't
what-
everybody
you know
really
what-
want to be a head in a jar though?
You know what a lot of people want? People walk around and not be crippled for life.
Yes.
That-
I'd like to be a head in a jar.
That's my biggest issue with Batman, is he'll go around and ruin all of the thugs' lives. Like, just completely mess them up. Possibly kill them, at least put them in the hospital for a long time. But when it comes to, like, the people the henchmen are working for, he's like, no, I'm gonna beat them up a little bit,
and
and
you're
then we're gonna
going
put
to
them in Arkham. So, the Joker, all of his thugs are messed up. They can't do anything ever again. But the Joker's fine, he's going to Arkham.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
I mean, I guess that's plot. But
Also, I
still.
guess it really depends on like who's writing him too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
See-
like sometimes he'll just wall people up in a sewer somewhere, and other times he's
He
like,
didn't kill them.
yeah. But if you're walled up in a sewer,
You're
you're
still alive.
unlikely to stay alive.
Hey, you gotta figure your way out.
I guess.
So, I have a hypothesis on why Batman does that. See, if you beat up the criminals, right, and you make it so that they can't work, their children are going to have to support them. The fathers are going to be angry, and therefore they're going to be abusive towards the kids. And then those kids are going to have to turn to a life of crime.
So Batman just causes more business for himself
See,
constantly?
but that would make sense, but he makes no money off of that.
He's rich. He doesn't care.
Yeah,
I
money's
know,
not
but,
the
like-
issue. He needs people to beat up.
This is true, or else he has to deal with his issues in a healthy way, and he can't do that.
It's so weird.
That's why he lets the Joker keep going. He's like, if I don't let you keep going and being crazy, I'm going to have to do therapy, and I don't want to.
And I
I'd
don't
have to
want
take a long, hard look at myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, no.
And as Batman, that would be terrifying.
Yeah. So, to transition over to something else, a real-world Star Trek replicator is now possible thanks to a new breakthrough.
I'm going to be
Okay.
honest, I don't know what that is.
What's that? You don't know what a
A
replicator
Star
is?
Trek
A Star Trek replicator? No. I can kind of infer what it is, but I
It's the
assume
thing
that
that
you guys are going to tell me a
It
lot
makes
more.
the food. You tell it what food you want.
He's only on the original series still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know how like
Where they have
Picard
food
is known.
synthesizers.
Picard is known for like saying like Earl Grey tea hot.
Tea Earl Grey hot.
The replicator makes it.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the article says here, a startup with alumni from MIT and Yale says it's made a breakthrough in creating a next-generation material that should make it possible to 3D print literally anything out of thin air. New York-based Mattershift has managed to create large-scale carbon nanotube, or CNT, membranes that are able to combine and separate individual molecules. This technology gives us a level of control over the material world that we've never had before, said Mattershift founder and CEO Dr. Rob McGinnis in a release. For example, right now we're working to remove CO2 from the air and turn it into fuels. This has already been done using conventional technology, but it's been too expensive to be practical. What do you think about that?
Well,
Tea Earl Grey hot.
so it's not really a replicator. It's a 3D printer. It's closer to the original series food synthesizer, which takes the particles and just makes the food.
Which makes more sense though. I don't expect something to just be materialized.
Well, yes, the replicator though is when Sean said, "Oh, they made a step towards making an actual replicator," I'm like, really?
Does anybody?
That's a lot of energy
Okay,
required.
wait, so this stuff is edible?
Yeah.
Because they use the molecules from whatever to make
Yeah.
whatever.
I want to know,
That's amazing.
where are they in making the holodeck? Because that
Holodeck-
seems more achievable, and it's something I want.
The holodeck is derived from the replicator technology and from the transporter technology.
Yes.
Because it's making the illusion of matter using force fields and photons.
Yeah. And then for food things, the holograms go to the replicator, or the real people go to the replicator, have the food made, and then they bring it over.
Yeah. So,
Which is why you can eat stuff in the holodeck.
yeah.
I just really
We are
want a
far,
holodeck.
far away from an active holodeck.
Wait, if you ate on the holodeck, would it actually give you sustenance or no?
Yeah, because the food comes from a replicator.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So, simple things can be made on the holodeck, but it depends on how simple. Water can be made, but anything that's starting to get in complex molecules cannot be.
Okay.
Because beyond that, anything that leaves the holodeck simply is no longer be able to be projected, and therefore it would simply vanish. So you could eat a turkey, and it'd be inside you, but the moment you leave the holodeck,
I thought they just used like a replicator though, so then you would just be brought food.
if you're having like a party on the holodeck,
Yeah.
but let's say you're playing, I don't know, The Christmas Carol, the movie,
Yeah. But
the
like,
holodeck edition.
I just
Wait.
mean like how they have that weird thing that was meant for, like R&R when you can't actually leave the ship. So it was like the tropical island, like Ryza, but different.
Yes, you would get food from a replicator and you bring it in there and you consume that. But if you say, computer, create a turkey dinner, and there's a turkey dinner in front of you, none of that is actual food.
Yeah,
it's
it was
all
not real.
photons.
Yeah.
You can eat it, but then afterwards you walk out and your stomach's empty.
Okay, so if you stayed in there for a couple days and only ate and drank things,
You would die.
that came from there. Okay, but while you're inside, you would have sustenance.
You would have
But then the
substance.
moment you left, all of it would get sucked out of you, and you would die.
No.
I want to know why they didn't just. Why
Because-
wouldn't they just put a replicator inside the holodeck?
I don't know. I didn't design the starship.
All I'm
And s-
saying is like.
And the hollow suites have them.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm getting
On
screwed up.
DS9, the hollow suites are more
Advanced.
party.
Yeah, because that makes sense, right?
Yes.
Because why would you leave and bring in the food when you can just... Because, like, you can have a hologram bring you real food from a replicator.
We're thinking about it too deeply.
Also, you can tell the computer create a replicator and then use that replicator to make things, because any technology made on the holodeck actually works.
Wait,
Yeah, oh,
could
yeah, that
you use a
part's really weird.
replicator to make a replicator?
I don't see why
Yes,
not.
by piece.
Yeah, you can
Unless,
make bits and
unless
pieces.
there is, there are certain materials that cannot be replicated,
Like gold pressed latinum.
Oh, but, like,
which is why it's a currency, because you can't replicate it.
is that, like,
Makes sense.
how there's a 3D printer that they had make a 3D printer, like, through little pieces, and somebody just had to put it together?
Yeah.
Now, talking about Star Trek food, I have...
Gah!
Nope. Well, it probably ended up that way. A very sad story to report. Do you remember the year Star Trek First Contact came out? Do you know that year? Do you remember what year that was?
Yes.
What year was it?
No, I remember the year. I don't remember
Okay.
what year it was.
All right. Well, it was 1996. During the year of 1996, when Star Trek First Contact came out, there was a lot of promotional materials and so on.
Yeah.
Okay. They made a series of Star Trek First Contact chocolate bars. And somehow...
Did you buy some and have them in storage?
Yes, actually. I'm not even sure where I got
You
them.
had chocolate bars and you kept them in storage?
For 20 odd years, yes. So this week I've been going through my totes in order to find things to sell at the Northern Ontario Expo.
Don't bring those.
I can't bring those because some kind of critter got into my tote, ate through the plastic bag that the chocolate bars were in, and chewed all the ends off of all 6 chocolate bars that I had, that I was actually going to take and put it into a shadow box and put that liquid polymer clear stuff and make like a picture frame thing out of, and I never got around to it, and now I can't because they're destroyed and ruined, and it was very sad. Turn of events, my 20-year-old chocolate bars are no more.
You got to store those in a metal container. Any food thing you intend to store, you got to store in a metal container.
I would have eaten them.
When I had when I had purchased them, they were already old. I think I must have got them on
You
eBay.
bought old chocolate bars on eBay?
Yeah. I've also got a little package of Photon Torpedo candies, which are still intact. I was going to make a thing. I was going to make a tray table with the chocolate bars sealed in some kind of polymer or something, but I never got around to it.
Like resin?
Like a resin, like you used to see on the TV show Trading Spaces.
Yeah.
Remember with Paige? What's her
Yeah.
name?
Hi, I'm Paige Davis, and you probably know me best from having hosted Trading Spaces on TLC.
Yeah. But now I can't, and they're wrecked, and it's very sad.
That is sad. Unless you wanted to do a thing where it looked like you had eaten the chocolate bars.
No, because now they're in the garbage.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to maybe save the wrappers because the wrappers were still okay, but I'm like, no, you know what? I don't need crap anymore, so it's gone. Very sad. But also speaking about Star Trek stuff,
Blank alert. Blank alert.
we've got an article here from Karl Urban, who's out promoting his new film Bent, and he's been asked by all kinds of different places about the next Star Trek movie. And his quote is, "Here's the thing. They're in the really early stages of development at this time. Quentin is about to direct his Hollywood film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Brad Pitt and DiCaprio. You're talking about a film after a film. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the ball is in Paramount's court. Hopefully they'll greenlight another Star Trek movie. If they do, then it'll be a lot of fun. I had such a blast working on those Star Trek movies. You know, that cast, we're like family at this point. I'm pretty confident hopefully within the next year, that we'll be back on the set." So
They need to end the Calvin timeline.
they need to end the Kelvin timeline?
They need to end the Calvin timeline. It needs to come to an end.
Why do you say this?
Because it is terrible.
Okay. Is that the only reason?
It's distorting what Star Trek is.
But it's bringing whole piles of new fans to the franchise.
No, it's not.
It is, though.
But if the only thing that they like is that one...
If they only like the new Star Trek movies...
We don't know. Maybe they're going back and watching everything that came before.
I doubt that.
I doubt that very much.
Because if they liked that, they would have already been watching it.
Well, you
Not
can't like
necessarily.
something before
It's like-
you see it.
No, meaning that if you were interested in that kind of sci-fi, you would have been interested in it already.
Yeah, because why would they start watching new Star Trek that exists now?
Well, just
If-
think about it this way. You take your friend who's never seen Star Trek to see this, say, Star Trek Beyond or Star Trek 2009 or whatever, and they're like, huh, so that's what Star Trek's all about, eh? What else do you got? And then you show them all 6 series and the cartoon and the old movies and stuff.
But none of that would interest them. They'd be like, this is boring. Where's the fight scenes? Where's the action?
Not necessarily.
Where's the drama where the two main characters are yelling at each other and fighting and the conflict between people? Well, that's not what Star Trek is. There's no conflict between the crew. There should never be conflict between the crew. The crew should be working from a place of unity. Well, that's stupid. And then they walk away. Because that's what new fans are.
Some people might say that, but you can't generalize and say everybody's like that.
Yes, you can. 'cause
Okay,
they just
you
did.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
You can generalize in that we're not speaking of a specific group of individuals. We're speaking of the general populace as a whole, which means statistics say I can generalize. So average viewers are not going back and watching the old stuff. They don't understand what Star Trek is. They think it's this sci-fi show that isn't Star Trek.
I get that everybody likes something different, though. Like, I didn't like DS9, but I did like Voyager. Many people hated Voyager. A lot of people like TNG, but they didn't like original series. I
But you
don't
could
think I will like the new series, but that's just me, because I didn't like DS9 either. Although, having said that, I did watch enough of it, and I like all the episodes with Quark and Odo, and any of the ones with Worf. So I didn't completely hate it, but I don't know if I'll like the new one.
But you can feel from original series to next gen to
Yeah, it still
DS9,
felt like
you
it was all the
can feel
same.
the same thing.
And I
then
think
you
part of the
watch-
reason why I didn't like DS9 is because they didn't go anywhere, and I liked the whole aspect of, traveling and discovery, because to me, that was a big part of Star Trek, because, like, first gen was that, and second gen was that, so, like...
Then they got to the fight in season 3 and they went lots of places.
Not really. They spent most of the time on the station.
Lots of time on the station, but not always.
Most of the time.
No.
The show's about the station.
Well, of course it is, but
Yeah.
they didn't just stay there.
Well, in DS9, they spend a lot of time on the station, or on planets, like, they go to, like, Cisco's home, and they're there, and it's Cisco. I don't like Cisco.
You don't like Space Jesus?
He's Space Jesus. His son was kind of cool, though. Like, he was a little bit of a whiner, but I liked his adventures with,
Nog.
But
So-
Cisco himself was, I think, although he did punch Q, and that part was funny. I don't know, maybe there's enough of DS9 that I liked, but
Yeah, but you can feel the connection between them. Mm-hmm. The new movies do not feel like the rest of Star Trek.
This is true.
They feel like the new show.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
You haven't watched all the new show.
I've watched 5 episodes. I've got enough to get a feel for the show.
Other than production values, the two things don't feel the same at all.
They feel the same.
No.
The pilot gets ripped off the side of the shuttle on transport. That felt like it. The whole thing feels like they're the same. They feel the same.
Okay, fine.
They are clearly in the same universe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Clearly. Okay.
Also, like, I don't like when it winds up being too much about religion or being too soap opera-y.
Okay. So, what was your favorite Star Trek series?
My favorite Star Trek series?
Yes.
Next Generation.
See Voyager.
Voyager.
Oh, Voyager. Do you remember in Voyager, season 2, episode 1,
No.
a show called The 37s?
I don't know.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
That's the one where
Is that the one where it's all the old people like Amelia Earhart and stuff?
Yeah, they find the truck in
that's
space.
a good one.
Yeah. And speaking of Amelia Earhart, I found an article. How's that for a transition, Shane? Is that not bad?
I was forced, but I liked it.
It was forced. Okay. All right. So I've got a crazy article here about where this guy thinks he's confirmed the whereabouts of Amelia Earhart, which has been a mystery for the last 80 years.
So he made it to the Delta Quadrant?
Maybe. But I'll read you the article because it's ridiculous. The whereabouts of Amelia Earhart has been solved with 99% accuracy, according to one scientist. The legendary aviator vanished somewhere above the Pacific Ocean during a round-the-world trip in 1937, hence the name of the Star Trek Voyager episode 37s. Neither Earhart or her navigator, Fred Noonan, were ever found along with the plane. However, after decades of speculation, Richard Jantz of the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, an expert on skeletal biology, claims bones found on a Pacific island in 1940 are 99% likely to be Earhart's. They were discovered on the then Gardner Island, which is now called Nikumaroro, 400 miles south of her destined stopover on Howland Island. They were analyzed in British Fiji by Dr. David Wynne Hoodless, who took their measurements before losing them. So yeah, this guy took the measurements of the bones and then lost them. And now Dr. Jantz has since compared the measurements to the assumed dimension of Earhart and concluded the two are strikingly similar. He said, "We had the lengths of 3 bones Hoodless reported lengths for. Then we realized there were some ways we could get more information about Amelia Earhart's dimensions that could be compared directly to the bones. We were able to measure her humerus length and her radius length from a photo that had a scalable object in it. Then we also had a good estimate of her tibia length, which we got from her trouser inseam length and from her height. We were able to compare the 3 bone lengths from Nikumaroro to Amelia Earhart. The result is they're very similar, and it's unlikely just a random person would be that similar. If her position had been in the middle of that distribution, there's no way I could have concluded it was her. The fact she's not the closest one is not disqualifying at all, because there are going to be measurement errors on my part from estimating her dimensions, and it could be Hoodless who made some errors. Just a random person would have a very low probability of being that similar to these bones."
So they found somebody with similar bone lengths to possibly her bone lengths. Why don't they use genetic testing? That's a thing.
He lost the bones.
The guy lost the bones in the 1940s.
Is there anybody left that she's related to?
Don't know. Probably. But
most people, if they're related to a famous person, go on and on about it forever.
But we don't know where these bones are.
Yeah, but that's 3 generations back. They may not.
So I read this article and I'm like, okay, that's a pretty good leap of logic. And then there's 3 comments on the article. Somebody says, "This is bullcrap. We all know that she's currently in a stasis pod on a planet somewhere in the Delta Quadrant."
That's true.
Somebody else said, "Lost bones were found. How about the wreckage of the plane? It's made of metal. Where's that?" And then, "Where's her plane and navigator? Where's the plane? Where's the plane?" And then somebody else says, "Lost the bones. How do you lose her bones?" So, yeah, it's a pretty ridiculous article. And I'm 99% certain that we found the bones of Amelia Earhart, but we don't know where they are, and they've been lost for 70 years.
So
they're still lost.
So his I'm 99% certain
is a 0.99% certain.
Because you don't have the actual bones to compare. You're basing it on bad measurements of somebody who loses bones.
In 1940, yeah.
You got 3 measurements, not I have a detailed measurement of the skull, the circumference.
And we took a look at the pictures, and we kind of guessed what her height was because of the plane in the background or whatever it was that was in the photo. So sure enough, it's got to be her.
But also, like, all of those pictures were really fuzzy. like those pictures
So
were done in such a way, like they're the old black and white or sepia pictures, right? Where they're all really fuzzy and grainy and nothing quite matches up, right?
So, assuming that you had the bones, you're still guessing from a blind thing on measurements. Also, you would need x-rays of her bones to get the thing. Not, well, her inseam's 17, but she likes really tight pants, so that could affect it. Or she likes really loose pants.
No, she liked really tight pants.
But therein lies the thing.
It's a pilot thing.
Okay.
So, that's bullcrap. Mm-hmm. And now you're just like, well, she's about this height. Well, now we're talking about, like, tenths of an inch making a difference on positive identification, not, yeah.
It's kind of close.
We're within 3 inches, so it's got to be her.
But I like shrink and grow a little bit during the day, depending on how much she's standing up.
That's the space between your bones, not your actual bone length.
Yeah, but, like, if you're going off of height...
True, that would have an impact, but...
Especially because some people shrink and grow a lot, because some people's cartilage is really smooshy.
So would camera angle and distance from object.
Yeah, and lighting and how fast the development of the photograph was, and...
Yeah, so I thought it was a really fun article, because I'd seen it shared like 4 or 5 times.
We might have found her
Facebook.
bones, but then again, we might not have.
Yeah.
Also, no plane.
Right.
Congrats for this update that isn't really an update, because they don't actually have any new information.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But so many people had shared it this week, I had to bring it up.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that galls me is, okay, we found maybe the bones. All right, that's fine. Saying we might have identified them years ago, but all right, that's cool. 99% certainty. No. You don't get to throw numbers around. Numbers have meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
Numbers have value.
Especially not 99%. No.
I'm almost certain this is it.
No. This is 50% at best. At best.
Yeah.
Even saying 90%, that gives you a 10% chance of error. That's fine. I would have accepted 90%. Like, you're a bit ambitious and you really believe in your things, but come on.
Yeah.
2 Sigma.
But I think we can all agree that Amelia Earhart was a strong, independent woman who was a pioneer in her field.
Yes.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Hands down.
Not really.
What?
He's just not agreeing for the sake of not agreeing.
Okay, so she is a strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
She's not that much
Was.
of a pioneer. She is. She's somewhere in the Delta Quadrant in stasis. She's still alive.
Okay, yes, I forgot about that.
So, she was a strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
Pioneer in her field is a different matter.
I want you to know, you've always been an inspiration to me. Because of you, generations of women have become pilots.
Okay.
She was a pioneer for women in her field. But even then, not that much. There were women pilots before her who did just as impressive feats.
Can you name any?
No.
Okay.
She's the only one who got lost and got famous for being lost.
She got famous.
Yeah.
Name the third person to fly a plane.
I don't know.
Yeah, see.
It's Orville and Wilbur. Right.
That's 1 and 2. Name number 3.
I don't know.
You're a weird person.
Why?
You said their names backwards.
Did I?
Yes. It is odd.
Oh.
It's just weird.
Actually, that's the way.
It's Wilbur and Orville.
No, Orville and Wilbur.
No.
That's the way it comes out.
I disagree.
Are you just being contrary on purpose?
No, he's right. That's the way you say it. That's alphabetical.
I disagree. That's the first time I've ever heard it that way.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
All right. But anyway, speaking of strong, independent women, Jessica Jones Season 2 came out this week. And
It did.
And it came out on a Thursday instead of a Friday, which is really odd.
Was Thursday National Women's Day or was it yesterday?
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The 8th was International Women's Day, so maybe that's why it came out.
I got free chocolate.
Yeah?
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it, and I wasn't entirely sure of what it was for until I was like halfway into eating it.
Oh.
And then I read the card.
Okay, that's cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Congratulations on being a woman of
I like
international
free
fame.
things, yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
So anyway, Cheryl hadn't seen Season 1. So she was like, you better watch it because I'm going to watch this Season 2 when it comes out and you better be caught up. So she's been catching up and she's like, oh, really? And I'm like, listen, the first half of the season sucks and you just have to get through it to get to the back half and that's good. And she was like, oh, thank God, you're right. Yeah, because the first half was horrible and the second half was great. So we watched the first 3 episodes last night and this morning and I'm liking it better already.
Yeah, I also prefer Season 2. I could not get into Season 1. I didn't bother to try.
Yeah, I didn't finish season 1. I haven't started season 2 yet, but I think I'm gonna have to go back and give it another chance.
It started at episode 7 because the first half is crap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I probably watched the first 5 or 6 episodes.
Oh, then you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh, you've seen some of it?
I've seen the first 4 episodes with Kate.
And?
He's also seen the entire first season.
I am the one that liked the first season the most out of this whole table.
Even the first half.
I enjoyed
Yeah, Josh liked the whole thing.
I watched the entire thing, and I enjoyed all of it. I also rewatched the entire thing twice.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, wow.
I enjoyed the
Because
story.
he really likes it. It's totally fine. It's just that
The first half was super boring.
Josh's tastes are different from ours.
Yes.
I enjoyed the story.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just bringing it up because you've seen 4, I've seen 3, and I'm already liking it way better than season 1.
I'm enjoying it just as much as season 1.
That's good. That's good. See, different taste. It's okay. I have information here that Luke Cage season 2 is coming out June 22nd.
That's exciting. I like Luke Cage.
Cheryl watched the first episode this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and she loves it already.
Yeah.
So
I like Luke
The
Cage.
ladies love the Luke Cage story.
that's a handsome man.
Mike Holder is a good-looking man.
He's a good-looking man,
Yeah.
and he's bulletproof.
Yep. That's gotta help.
So,
I feel kind of bad for him though, because his holes his outfit's always full of holes.
I enjoyed Luke Cage right up until the last episode.
Oh yeah.
That last episode didn't feel deserved.
Oh no, I can't remember what happened.
It was, instead of being a full hour, it was 40 minutes.
Oh.
And that's the fight with Diamondback.
Right. With the big suit and all that.
Like, it didn't feel deserved.
Oh yeah, the lead up to it was pretty good, and it seemed like it was going to be more, and then Diamondback actually turns out he's really 70s and cheesy. You're gonna love him, Shane.
So
like he shows up and he's got like kung fu moves and like a bell-bottom suit. It's pretty great.
That sounds amazing.
So like they could have cut some of the episodes in the middle. There's a few kind of filler episodes. Cut those and work on Diamondback, because like he gets his suit in the last episode.
Right.
Like
it's kind of rushed.
And you barely see him up until that point.
Yeah.
And then when he's there, like, he doesn't really fit the rest of the theme of Luke Cage. Because, like, the rest of it is, like, really set in our world. Like, it's believable. And then Diamondback is kind of cheesy and weird.
Yeah, he was the weak point of the series.
I really like him. And I kind of like when stuff doesn't fit how it's supposed to, and it starts taking like a very strange turn. So I liked it a lot. But
he knows what he likes, and he doesn't care, and he's
Yeah.
gonna stick to it.
Yeah.
So I really liked the Cottonmouth and his sister story.
Mm-hmm.
That built really good. I enjoyed that. But then the Diamondback was kind of all right. I'm still enjoying the rest of what's going on. But then the last episode was like, wow, this is not great. It literally felt, oh, we're only doing 13 episodes. Oh, crap. We got wrap it up, guys.
Right.
Even-
Sometimes that happens.
I would've
thought
been
we had more time.
Yeah, I would have been okay with being left on a cliffhanger too, because just like to give him more time in, because like I like that he's cheesebally and weird and doesn't fit with the rest of the series, but he didn't get enough time in it for you to actually like be invested in Diamondback's storyline, because you hear about him a lot, and even Shades has like better background, like he was there at the prison with Luke when he was there, so like Shades has a better backstory, and then it's just like, oh, Diamondback, oh, he's the big bad, oh, and then he just like shows up and like does some kung fu moves and then just like isn't there anymore, and it was really weird.
But I think
You'll probably like it.
You'll like it though. It's a good series.
Yeah.
And so
Look,
get on to Jessica Jones.
Literally everything up until the last episode, I was like, yeah, this is great.
It is really great.
And even the last episode is not so bad. The fight's pretty good, but it literally feels like, oh crap, let's end it up. Let's go, wrap.
Yeah. Also, like, when he shows up, it's like very close to the end of the last episode. So it's just odd, because they're like, here's this thing that we meant to throw in at the end, and it's the end now. Surprise.
The only series I haven't watched so far in those are Luke Cage and the actual Defenders. I haven't watched either of those.
Were you seen all of Daredevil?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good boy.
Oh, Daredevil's amazing. Punisher's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Iron Fist was eh.
I like Iron Fist.
I like
Jessica
Iron
Jones,
Fist, too.
but I think we can all agree that Netflix makes some pretty cool stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you know that there's a movie coming out March 23rd called Game Over Man?
Yes.
Let's play the trailer right here.
Oh!
Black alert.
Breaking news. A star-studded event at the Level Hotel in Los Angeles has been taken over by armed gunmen. We now go to a live feed from the assailants and can confirm that one of the hostages is international pop star Shaggy.
Yeah,
Don't kill Shaggy. I fucking love Shaggy. What? Don't kill Shaggy. It's happening.
Say it wasn't me.
Sing it, Shaggy!
Honey came and she caught me red-handed, creeping with a girl next door.
Picture this, we were both butt naked, banging on a bathroom floor. How do I forget that I have given her an extra key?
Oh, you better go, man, access to your villa. Just a son of weakness, all of your clean on your villa. You better watch your back before she turns to a killer. I ain't she claim, you tell her, baby, no.
We have 3 waiters on the run.
I think we should turn ourselves in.
Wait, what's with the pockets?
I'm showing them I'm unarmed.
We can take them. My name is Alex, with 3 X's. I'm about to go explosive on these motherfuckers.
3X means poison, by the way.
It's also a Vin Diesel movie. Let's fuck some shit up.
Who the fuck are you? You SWAT? You SEALs? Transporters?
Let's do it.
What are you doing up there?
Oh, thank God.
Fuck you, copper! What the hell are you doing? They're here to help us.
We're not gonna look cool as shit getting saved by the LAPD. Do you even listen to Kendrick Lamar?
Wasn't it? I can't believe I followed a loser like you around for years.
I'm not a loser!
Guys, stop! You just shot at me?
I shot near you, bitch.
And it looks kind of funny, don't you think?
I am so excited.
It looks amazing.
That whole group of actors, I don't know if any of you have seen Workaholics.
No.
No? It's just a comedy, but it's the main 3 guys, and I can't remember her name, the blonde woman in the trailer. They're all in that show, and it's hilarious. So they have really good chemistry, and I like it. It's good.
It looks very funny.
It does. So we'll probably watch it.
Definitely.
You said you wanted to go see it at the theater, but
I would have gone to see it in theater.
you can watch it for free.
It looks hilarious.
So that's awesome.
Well, not for free. Netflix is a service you pay for.
Yeah, I'm aware of this. Thank you.
Well, why did you say for free?
Because it's free. You're paying for it anyway, no matter what. You don't have to spend an extra bunch of money because you're already paying for Netflix.
But I would have. I really like Netflix's series that they come out with.
Have you watched Love?
No.
Sarah is watching it. She loves it.
It's amazing. Season 3 came out yesterday.
What's it about?
It's about a guy played by an actor named Paul Rust.
Holy rusted metal, Batman!
Which
I like him.
He's very nerdy and cool.
Yeah.
And Rust, and we are the Rusted Robot Podcast, so gotta talk about Love. He's like an acting teacher, right? He he doesn't teach acting, but he teaches actors. So, yeah, like a tutor.
Okay.
And it's about
He's a substitute acting teacher?
No, I said that all wrong. That's all backwards. He goes to TV sets and teaches young people for their education, like a school teacher, but on the movie.
He teaches
set.
actors.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yes.
So he's a supplemental teacher.
He's a tutor.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Like a private tutor.
No, he doesn't teach them acting. He teaches them school stuff.
He teaches them on set because they're required
they can't leave.
So, like, he would show up at the first couple Harry Potter movies and be like, hey, Daniel Radcliffe and all these people.
This is your math homework.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I explained it.
Understand.
I didn't explain it very well. Anyway, that doesn't matter. He's kind of a nerdy guy, and it's his adventures in love. Hence the title of the show, Love.
He's very awkward.
He's very awkward. It's almost uncomfortable to watch sometimes because you can put yourself into his shoes. And yeah, I've seen the first 2 seasons, and they're great. And season 3 just came out, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, I watched the first episode with her.
Yeah.
And then I went on night shift, and I came back, and she's like, I finished the first season.
Because
okay.
it just flows. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's called Love. And have you seen Flaked?
No.
It's with Will Arnett. I don't know if they're doing a season 3, but they did the first 2, and it was great too. So.
A lot of the Netflix shows that I've been watching
Not geeky, but.
are kids shows.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
How to Train Your Dragon, Trolls.
Those kind of things.
Yeah, they're excellent.
Right.
Troll Hunter.
Yeah, Troll Hunter. Troll Hunter's really good.
Speaking about things coming out, I know it's completely off topic, but I don't care, it needs to be said. Nintendo just announced a new Smash Brothers for the Switch.
For the Switch?
Yes.
Did you know that the Northern Ontario Expo is having a door prize of the Switch for all paying customers?
I did not.
Ah, well, I posted it all over Facebook.
Yeah, we're not paying customers, dude.
Oh no!
Yeah, you're having a booth. You can't win it. You already have a Switch anyway.
I can.
I don't have a Switch.
I think you guys had a Switch.
No.
We have a Wii.
We have a Switch. You guys borrowed
Oh,
from us
it was
for a
your
while.
Switch that they borrowed. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So they just announced that. So.
You know what? I really like the Switch. We should just buy one.
I'm gonna make you go out back and pick your own Switch.
Oh,
The Zynga.
Uh-oh.
Anyway,
With which to be hit.
That's a reference from the 80s and earlier when you had
When people used to give you a stick, or some people would make you choose your own stick, and then you get beaten with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fun.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
you're too young for that.
So, new Smash Brothers. They've only announced one new character for it so far, and that's the Inklings from Splatoon.
Ooh!
Because that just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge game.
Yeah, it's Nintendo's one of their biggest properties now. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I really like Splatoon.
Splatoon, the year it came out, beat both Halo and Call of Duty for Shooter of the Year award.
Really?
Which is crazy.
I think it's because it has the same... It's basically the same, but it's not violent.
I can't get around how bad the controls are. They just feel so weird to me.
Oh.
I don't know, I can't. I mean, maybe if you got into it more, I haven't played it much, but...
Damie plays on the Wii U, and he uses the gamepad, because our Wiimotes stopped working.
It's weird.
Yeah, none of them work anymore. I don't know why.
Lucasfilm has announced that director, producer, and actor Jon Favreau has been tapped to write and executive produce a live-action Star Wars series for Disney's new streaming platform. Details are sparse about the new series, but Favreau is no stranger to the Star Wars universe. The actor had a role in Star Wars The Clone Wars animated series, and it was recently revealed he'll have a voice in Solo, a Star Wars story.
Oh, nice.
He's playing a droid then.
Think so?
If he's just a voice.
No.
Well, he could be an alien.
Probably be an alien, I think.
Might be.
Actually, I can't remember. Funko accidentally released some information, and it released like the name of the character he's playing and stuff. I'm fairly sure he's an alien.
Oops.
Yeah. It's almost always either Funko or Lego that ruins things for people.
Well, it doesn't ruin it.
Lego does it a lot.
Spoiler alert kind of thing. Yeah.
But, you know what?
Well, not ruins, but like they release information before it was necessary.
More, when we get the spoilers from things like that, it doesn't ruin the movie. You can tell me the whole plot of a movie, and I'll go watch it, and I'll enjoy it just as much. In fact, there's been some studies suggesting that you might actually enjoy it more.
Because you know what you're in for?
And you're looking for the parts you've been told are coming.
Oh.
So you're
mean
more
like how,
engaged.
Because you're anticipating.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not just sitting there along for the ride. You're actually picking things
How
as you go.
Nathan...
That makes sense.
What
Nathan Fillion?
Nathan Fillion was in... Guardians of the Galaxy.
And he was just one of the random aliens in the prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like how in Force Awakens, Simon Pegg was in Carplette.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good.
So I think this means that there's going to be a new streaming service, and they're not just going to take over Hulu like we suspected.
Huh.
Maybe.
Disney?
Yeah.
Oh, they've announced for a while that they were getting their
But
own
remember,
streaming
they bought Fox, who owned 30% of Hulu.
Yeah.
And the other people owned 30%, so they were going to have 60%.
Yeah.
But I guess they're going to have another one.
Oh, they still want their own.
So we've got Hulu and Amazon Prime and Netflix and I don't even know what.
Because they'll have their own, and they'll market it as family friendly and only have Disney's.
Disney's is going to be family friendly for the most part, but they're going to have an adult section where it's more mature movies.
I
guess like Netflix.
Like I thought they were keeping that kind of stuff on Netflix.
They're going to keep what they have on Netflix because they got a partnership going on with Netflix right now.
Yeah.
But other things, Disney has some more, like, not G but PG-13, PG.
Yeah. Well, they own Touchstone. That's what they put all of their like R-rated stuff through.
I think they're going to have that side of it as well.
It might be worth
That makes sense.
getting.
Depending on what their price is. If it's like
If it's
similar to Netflix's
if it's under
prices.
$12 a month, it'd be worth getting.
Yeah.
So, and depending on whether they're putting a lot of the things from the Disney Vault back out.
Yeah.
Like if you pull stuff out of the vault, because like the vault is a marketing scam.
I hate the Vault.
It really is. Well, I think that's an issue. I can't see them putting a lot of the stuff from the vault.
That's why
on their
people
streaming
pirate
service.
stuff, though.
Yeah, but the point of the vault is that they can release like diamond, platinum editions of something that they came up with 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So that they can cash in on it again, adding some kind of
but
spin on it.
How many people at this point are clamoring for the next release of Snow White from the vault?
Literally no one.
Wait. Exactly. So you put it out there because who hasn't seen a copy of it? Like
Also
my kids have
probably
seen a
literally
copy
no
and it's been in the vault for 20 years.
Well, yeah, but like that's just because somebody we know just downloaded it. Like we do not have a copy of Snow White.
No.
Hey, the NSA might be listening, or the FCC, or whatever. So
We didn't download it.
Somewhere
We don't even
we-
have it, actually.
Oh, well, that's fine then.
Not that one.
Okay.
But, like, I'm not going to go out and pay for, like, $34 for a movie that's been out forever.
No, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, speaking of movies that have been out forever, have you ever watched Logan's Run?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you know that Simon
Yes, we did.
Kinberg is going to direct the new Logan's Run? Back in 2015, X-Men producer Simon Kinberg took over the development of the long-gestating new Logan's Run at Warner Brothers. Since then, there's been little in the way of news aside from the arrival and subsequent departure of two directors, first Bryan Singer and then Joseph Kosinski. Having finally made the jump from producing to directing with X-Men Dark Phoenix, however, the problem of who will man Logan's Run's cameras appears now to have been solved. Kinberg will be directing the film himself.
Logan's Run really likes X-Men. It's almost all of those people.
So
I don't think it needs to be remade, to be honest.
It does.
I really like
No.
I like it
No,
how
it
it was.
I
Like,
think it
if they
should
redo
stay
it-
how it is.
If they redo it, I feel like they're going to get rid of all the things that we think of as being classic sci-fi.
Well,
like, you know, like
yeah.
the weird ball thing that they get into to down the tube.
Yes. So
They're going to change it.
What they're saying here is Logan's Run is the granddaddy of Maze Runner and Hunger Games and so many of these books and movies now.
Yeah, why don't they just make a new one?
So Warners are seeing it as a potentially really big franchise, but the focus is on making a great movie, but there is some thought about what future films could be and where you could take Logan to the next one.
You can't. Okay, so Logan's Run, the story is a self-contained story.
Oh, yes.
You can't make it a franchise.
Yeah, but no one wants to make a self-contained movie anymore because
I like self-contained movies.
franchises make money.
Everything has to be a trilogy, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So leave Logan's Run alone. Like, there's no reason to go back to it. It is a good sci-fi that everybody who enjoys sci-fi watch, but it's not a show like, hey, remember this show? And everybody's like, oh yeah, I remember that. No, it's a more obscure movie. Going back to it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have the clout to pull people in, but it's not a story that really needs to be retold because it was told really well the first
Exactly.
time.
It's
a great movie.
first and foremost a narrative tale.
And if they keep
And-
that all the same, that means the stuff that they're changing is all the fun.
Exactly. It's
weird-
going to be all of the
it'll
sci-fi
be-
special effects stuff that they can do for it, but they can't really change the story.
Or like the weird jumpsuits that everybody wore
Yes.
that identified
Classic.
their class. Yeah.
It'll be like the RoboCop remake.
Yeah.
Not very good.
It's completely unnecessary.
And you know they're going to cut out the stuff that I was like, oh, that's morally questionable these days.
The social
like
commentary.
The drug den, the
Significant
the,
amounts
the
of nudity.
sex teleporter.
Dial a hooker, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool.
Well, that's-
And without it, I don't know if you can get rid of that because then you're missing a huge chunk of the story.
It's
You know what?
basically Tinder.
They might keep it, but I think they're going to have to do it in a more roundabout way.
I'd like to see a Soylent Green remake.
No.
Really? Why?
That movie's based. That's one that you can't spoil.
I know.
And everybody knows at this point.
But it was made in 1971 or something, so it's due for a remake.
Also, the idea of it being a Malthus world is not something that's like they've done the math. We can support a lot more people if we put the effort into it.
I know. It'd
So-
just be fun to see it updated with special effects, just like they're supposed to do Forbidden Planet as a trilogy as well, which is a fantastic film.
I like stuff how it is. I kind of just wish they'd re-release, like, because a lot of us who are fans of the old-time sci-fi, we don't get to see it on the big screen, and I think that would be kind of fun. I think theaters should start doing, like...
We need a second-run theater here.
Yeah.
I agree. I just think that too much of what Hollywood is cranking out is all remakes at this point. So it's just...
And, like, I get why they remake it. Like, a lot of movies were remade because they were too slow. Like, the design...
No, they're remade because it's easy money.
It is easy money, but, like, and a built-in fan base and all that
certain
stuff.
ones, though, were remade just because the timing was too slow. Like, Parent Trap. Original Parent Trap was black and white.
Well, I mean, they're making... We're getting a new Terminator movie.
Yay.
Which we don't need.
We do. We always need Terminator.
We're getting a new Predator movie, which, honestly, I really like Predator.
I like Predator, too.
But it's written by Shane Black, who was in the first one, so this will be okay.
So that might be okay. There's another one that they're making another one, and it's big, and it doesn't need to be a thing.
Is it another Arnie movie? Because these two have been Arnie movies that you mentioned.
It's possible. I don't think so.
I think they should put him in
the
movies.
New Terminator movie.
Even as a cameo.
You can't... It's going to be tough to do. And Terminator has been going down since... It went Terminator 1. Good. Terminator 2. Fantastic. Terminator 3. 4. 5. What?
Yeah.
Do you think it's because they don't have Arnold in them?
No, they have Arnold.
He was in them.
It's just that because it's not James Cameron, it's just not good. Because you need his vision.
Honestly, anything after the second one, it's never going to be as good as
If
it is.
they did Terminator, like how they did the Sarah Connor Chronicles, because that was really good.
And therein lies the problem.
Yeah, every time they do something really well, they cancel it.
Yeah,
That's another show I haven't watched and
It's
really
really
need to.
good.
Don't watch it because it
You'll be
ends,
sad that
it
it's
ends
gone.
on a cliffhanger and it's just sad.
I am sad when shows are too short and don't.
Yeah, but anyway,
really
we've
good, though.
now reached the part of the podcast where we are doing our top 10 robots of fiction. Last week we did our top 10, which we won't mention here because you have to go back and listen to that episode. But number 9 on our list, who is it, Josh?
Ed 209.
This is our list of... You guys weren't here last week, so this is our list of...
It's okay, I'm aware of the list.
top sci-fi robots of pop culture due to their cultural significance or how we feel about them in our hearts. And Ed 209 is number 9 on our list.
Ed 209 should be higher, but there's a lot of more culturally impacted robots.
You know what? Ed 209 couldn't be higher because he couldn't get up the stairs.
Oh! No, he can go up. He can't go down.
Oh, that's right. Well, we're doing this list in descending order, so we couldn't get any...
There you go. And he squeals like a pig.
Yeah.
And do we love Ed 209?
I love it.
Yeah.
Ed 209, if it was just on my love of the robots, would be number 2.
What?
Is that right?
Really?
I love Ed 209.
Why?
Yeah, on our list here...
He doesn't have any personality, though.
And he's gone so quickly.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's in the movie a lot. And then he's in the sequels.
I kind of wish we were watching
I like that he's a chicken
RoboCop
walker.
for episode 200 instead of Ninja Turtles.
That's about it.
But people have spoken.
People have spoken.
So
Ed 209 is awesome.
He's got the chicken walker, because you know how
I
much
I do love chicken walkers. I'll give you that.
He's got the body form. It's got a nice, sleek 80s design to him. And, like, the over-massive gun arms with, like, 9 different guns just jammed into each arm.
Obviously.
But he's clearly badly programmed, because 80s programming.
Yeah, his programming is bad.
Back when the whole world could be ended with a floppy disk.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, the world of RoboCop actually takes place now.
Yeah.
So, but that was 30 years ago when it was produced, right? So, yeah.
Remember how easily they got corrupted?
Good times.
Gargoyles could have ended completely different if they put it in, and it's like, the disc is corrupted.
Exactly. See, I think that's the issue. I think that's the issue with things like Terminator, and not so much with Predator, but Terminator, RoboCop, stuff like that. They were 100% things of
their time.
Mm-hmm. And it just doesn't transfer well.
Because you can't capture lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Twice.
That's why we should have a theater that
it's called
replays
capacitors.
It was a bad...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the new RoboCop movie, I've seen like a third of it, and it's not RoboCop.
Did you stop watching it because the screen became covered with your own vomit?
No,
it wasn't that bad.
I stopped watching it because I was bored.
Yeah.
And I just stopped.
I haven't seen it the whole way through because I was working at the movie theater when it came out. So I was constantly going into the theater to check on it, and I would see little snippets of it, and I'm like, this looks just so bad.
Well, luckily for you guys, I own the thing, and I've seen it 2 or 3 times.
Oh no, are you going to make us watch it?
I'm going to make you watch it.
Oh,
it's going to be
I'll
great.
watch it.
Yeah.
For pure entertainment value, it's probably not that bad.
No, if I'm gonna
But
take time out of my life.
It's not bad as a movie by itself, but because it claims to be RoboCop, it automatically falls 10 points.
See, that's the problem.
The hand is the one thing that drives
Let's
me
keep
insane.
this useless object that other people who have most of their bodies don't really need. Other people do fine without hands.
It's bad. But Ed 209 is awesome.
That's
Ed 209 is
Number
pretty
9 on our list. Anyway, that, unless you have anything else to bring up, is the end of the podcast.
I think that's about all.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for being on the show.
You're welcome.
Anytime.
Perfect. This is where we remind people to share the links with their friends and family on Facebook. Join the Facebook group. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, any other place. Leave a 5-star review. All that good stuff. And remember, all characters and events in this podcast are fictitious. Any similarity to actual events, persons, living or dead or undead, is purely coincidental. This has been another episode of the Rusted Robot Podcast. You can contact us by emailing therustedrobot@gmail.com or tweeting us at therustedrobot. Visit our website at therustedrobot.podbean.com. And, if you would, please check us out and like us on Facebook. A 5-star review in iTunes is appreciated. The Rusted Robot Podcast was written, produced, scored, edited, engineered, and directed by Sean Vanderloo. Your co-host was Josh Montney. Don't forget to visit Jump City Comics in the 101 Mall and listen to our other show, the Soulforge Podcast. Visit Sean on Twitter and Instagram at Darth Vaderloo.
The Rusted Robot Podcast. Think about it.
Fellow executives, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the future of law enforcement. Ed 209. The enforcement droid, Series 209, is a self-sufficient law enforcement robot. 209 is currently programmed for urban pacification, but that is only the beginning. After a successful tour of duty in old Detroit, we can expect 209 to become the hot military product for the next decade. Dr. McNamara.
We'll need an arrest subject.
Mr. Kinney.
Yes, sir.
Would you come up and give us a hand, please?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kinney is going to help us simulate a typical arrest and disarming procedure. Mr. Kinney, use your gun in a threatening manner. Point it at Ed 209.
Yes, sir.
Please put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
I think you'd better do what he says, Mr. Kinney.
You now have 15 seconds to comply. You are in direct violation of Penal Code 113, Section 9. You now have 5 seconds to comply. 4, 3, 2, 1. I am now authorized to use physical force.
Somebody want to call a goddamn paramedic? Let's go, Johnson. You pull a plug on this thing! All right, don't touch him. Don't touch him! He didn't hear the gun drop. He didn't hear it!
Dick, I'm very disappointed. I'm sure it's only a glitch. A temporary setback.
You call this a glitch?
This has been a Valley of Vanderloo podcast production, all rights reserved.
This transmission ends now.